Hey everyone, welcome back. For those of you who are new here, my name is Brittany. I'm a health coach and nutritionist, and my channel is all about helping you to create delicious low FODMAP meals to improve your digestive health. If you're into it, go ahead and subscribe for more low FODMAP recipe tutorials, as well as my tips and tricks for living a low FODMAP lifestyle. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to make a quick and easy Thanksgiving dinner for two. We're gonna be using this 3-pound boneless turkey breast. And we're gonna cook this up with some potatoes and carrots and some fresh herbs and kind of get everything going together in the same dish. Now this is gonna be great if there's just a couple of you that are eating Thanksgiving this year, and maybe you don't wanna cook like the whole Thanksgiving meal, you know what I mean? Or this is another great option for those of you who are like doing the low FODMAP diet and you're like the only one in your family that's doing it. And I know for me, like I always feel like weird about coming to Thanksgiving because I can't eat all the stuff that everybody else can eat. And I don't want to make the host or whoever's cooking make everything special just for me. That doesn't feel right to me, especially when a lot of us are going over and we're expecting a nostalgic experience, right? Like you want to taste the mashed potatoes the way your mom always made it, or the stuffing or whatever, right? So that's why I prefer to kind of make my own Thanksgiving and brown bag it and bring it to wherever I'm going. That way I can still like hang out and enjoy, you know, the holiday with everybody, and there isn't like added pressure on everybody else to like make something that I can eat. So let me show you guys how we do it. All right, so first we are going to start by prepping our carrots and our potatoes. So let's give these a quick peel. Okay, now let's just take off the ends of these and then give it a quick slice. I like to do mine on a diagonal, and I like to do pretty big chunks. And then we are just going to throw these in a 9x13 casserole dish. Whoa, did you catch that? All right, next we have about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds of baby gold potatoes. I think you guys know by now that I love using these baby gold potatoes because the gold potatoes are much more like buttery and like creamy than russet potatoes, which are much more starchy. It's just a personal preference. But I also like using these little potatoes because they cook so much quicker. And it's like less chopping, you don't have to peel them. So you guys can see, like once you're practiced in the kitchen, you can get it going pretty quick. All right, now to our vegetables. Gonna add a little bit of garlic oil. Add a teaspoon. And I'm also going to be adding a teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna give this a quick mix. Just make sure everything gets nice and coated. All right, and now we're going to push this to the side and leave a little spot in the middle for our turkey. All right, next let's make our herb butter. Okay, I'm going to take just a couple of tablespoons of butter. You wanna make sure you leave your butter out to soften. It's gonna make this much easier. So this would be like 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. Let's go 3 tablespoons. I don't think we'll use it all, but it's better to have a little bit extra than not enough. So today I'm gonna be using a combination of green onions, parsley, and fresh sage. I'm also gonna throw in a little bit of dried thyme to our herb butter. Rosemary would make a really great addition to this as well, but didn't find any at the store. Oh, I just love fresh sage. These like younger pieces right here, I'm just gonna take a few of them and I'm just gonna throw them in with our veggies. I'm also gonna grab a couple of things of parsley to throw in here. So what's gonna happen is all of these veggies and herbs are gonna cook down with our turkey in the liquid that we're gonna pour in here in the bottom, and it's gonna really help to flavor and create, I wouldn't say it's not a bone broth, obviously, because there are no bones. And it's not gonna be like a broth that's full of collagen, but it is gonna be super flavorful, and then I'm gonna show you guys how to use that to make gravy. Okay, so I've just like layered my sage up here, and then I'm gonna roll it up and slice it. So you see this kind of makes like pretty ribbons. All right, now we're just going to mix this up a little bit. My butter's a little bit too hard still, but it's okay, we're gonna make it work. Okay, so it takes a little bit more time and effort, but if you're squishing it with a fork, that kinetic energy is gonna help to warm up your butter and help it soften a little bit. So now we are going to prep our turkey breast. So we need to take it out of this container, rinse it off, and then pat it dry. So let me do that really quick. Oh, I forgot our thyme. I'm just gonna put a little sprinkle of that in there. Honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if we forgot to put it in all together, but I think thyme, rosemary, sage, those all have like a very like Thanksgiving vibe to them, you know? Okay, here is our turkey breast. So we're gonna start by salting the underside. So this one has like some extra skin on there, which is fine. It's going to just add flavor. So I'm gonna leave it on there. So I typically salt one teaspoon per pound of meat. So this is a 3-pound turkey breast. So I'm gonna use about a teaspoon on the underside. And I know it seems like a lot of salt going on, but this is a thick piece of meat and the salt has to penetrate all the way through. All right, guys, sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. So we just have our turkey breast in here. I salted the underside, put some of our herb butter on the top. I want to put a little bit more on this side right here. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit more. Make sure that after you touch your turkey, you don't use those turkey hands back in to the herb butter, because then you can't use the rest of it in something else. All right, now I'm just gonna add a teaspoon of salt. I know that seems like a lot of salt, but I told you guys, it's a thick piece of meat. Okay, lastly, hit it with some ground pepper. What we're gonna do to ensure that our turkey breast stays moist and juicy is we're actually going to partially cook it in liquid. I'm gonna take 2 cups of water, and to that I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of Fody chicken soup base, which is a chicken stock, a low FODMAP chicken stock substitute. You guys have seen me use it many times on this channel. If I had homemade bone broth, I would use that. I would use probably like 1 cup of bone broth and 1 cup of water. But I don't have any right now, so we're just gonna use that. Okay, now also to that, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of gluten-free Worcestershire sauce. This is just gonna help to give it a little more umami flavor. Now this is really similar to my pot roast recipes, if you guys have ever made it. This is sort of like a mix between my whole roast chicken and pot roast. So now we're just going to pour this into the dish. Just be careful to not pour it over the top right there, because you don't want to disturb your herb butter. All right, guys, now we are just going to pop this into the oven at 350 degrees for 1.5 hours. That's it. Super easy, right? So I'm just gonna wait for the oven to finish heating up, and then I'll throw that in there. And like I said, when it comes out, I will show you guys how to use all of this amazing juice right here to make gravy. All right, you guys, here is our turkey breast and veggies. It has been baking in the oven at 350 degrees for an hour and a half. And the internal temperature is 160. We're gonna let this sit for about 5 to 10 minutes and it is going to finish coming up to that 165 degree temperature. I'm gonna take this out to rest. I guess this isn't like super necessary. Once this cools down, I'm gonna move it over to a wooden cutting board so that I can slice it up. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it here. And then I'm gonna spoon out all of these amazing veggies. Seriously, you guys, this smells so good. All of those herbs, like, just really like melded together with everything that we cooked them with, and it smells divine in here. Okay guys, so now you see all of this amazing like pan drippings, I suppose. See how it's got like a nice like fatty glaze in it? That is perfect. That's exactly what we want. That's gonna give our stock so much flavor. And now I'm gonna show you guys how to take this juice and turn it into gravy. All right guys, now to make our roux, we are going to start with a small saucepan and we are gonna heat that up over medium heat. So a roux is a 1-to-1 ratio of fat to flour. And so we are going to be using 4 tablespoons of butter and a 1/4 cup of gluten-free flour for this. So once our pan is heated up, I'm gonna add our butter and let it melt down. You wanna make sure to not scorch your butter. That's why we're starting over medium heat instead of medium-high heat. So if you guys remember either the Swedish meatball video or the homemade chicken pot pie casserole, those both involve roux. So it's gonna be very similar to that. We're also going to add in the remainder of our herb butter. Okay, now that that's all melty and amazing, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of our gluten-free flour. Okay, now this is the part where you really want to concentrate. Do not step away from the stove and burn your roux. But what we want to do is make sure that we are cooking out all of that like floury flavor. You'll notice at a certain point, the smell kind of changes and it starts to smell like nutty. I don't know, that's like the best way I can describe it. But you see how it's getting like all frothy and amazing? That's exactly what we want. Do not add your stock immediately because, like I said, it's gonna have like a weird chalky, floury flavor and we don't want that. You also wanna make sure to keep stirring so that we don't burn the roux. And then we are also gonna wait for the color to change as well as the smell to change. All right, so I can smell that this is changing a little bit, but now I'm gonna wait for the color to deepen a bit because I want it to be, you could do like a light gravy, but I like my gravy to have a little bit darker of a color. So this is similar to when we brown meat or like sear anything, that brown color, that's a Maillard reaction and that's creating flavor. So when you're darkening up your roux, you're creating flavor in a similar way. My God, it's starting to smell so amazing. So now you can see how it's still frothy, but the bubbles have kind of calmed down a little bit, and that's because a lot of our flour has been cooked out. I don't know, it's just kind of a thing that you notice when you practice making roux, I guess. Okay, see how our roux is starting to darken? It's getting like a golden brown color, and our herbs are starting to get a little bit like crispy. We are almost ready to add in our liquid. Okay, see how the bubbles have kind of calmed down a bit again? That's another sign that our roux is ready. And look, this color is beautiful, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and add our liquid. I'm also gonna pull out a whisk to make sure we don't have any lumps in our gravy. Well, look at that. It's thickened up nicely. I'm gonna turn our heat down to low. And then at this point, if this is too thick for your liking, you can add a little bit more water. And then a taste for salt. Okay, let's give this a taste. That's good. It's got like a little sweetness to it, actually, which is interesting. All right, I'm gonna turn the heat back up just a little bit. And I'll let this cook a little while. I think I'm gonna put a splash of water in it and a tiny bit of salt and pepper. Because once we take this off the heat, it is gonna continue to thicken up. So I just wanna get this a little bit thinner. Okay, that looks beautiful. Delish. Okay, I'm just gonna put like a pinch of salt and some pepper. Give that a minute to just meld together. Delicious. All right, that's it. Super easy, right? You will never make gravy from a packet ever again. Look how easy it was. All right, now let's go dish everything up. All right, now that our turkey breast is cooled, kind of overkill for such a small piece of meat, but I still like these. It's a good tool. Now let's just slice this up. All right, let's dish this up. That centerpiece is so beautiful. All right, now we have our gravy. So thick. I am starving, so let's dig in and take a bite. Man, that is so good. The turkey breast is nice and juicy. It is not dry, which you never want dry turkey breast on Thanksgiving. It's got this beautiful like herb crust thing going on, which just like makes it feel like elevated, you know? And then our gravy has such a great flavor to it. And the fresh herbs, the fresh sage in there particularly, it just adds such a beautiful flavor. Juiciest turkey breast ever. Try some of these veggies. Yes. And if you wanted to just do like all carrots or like carrots and parsnips in the turkey dish and then go with like a traditional mashed potato, you could totally do that and then make the gravy all the same. I have a garlic mashed potato video already on this channel, so I will link it below for you guys if you want to check that out. Oh, I love that this turkey breast had the skin on it still. It really just like, you get like a layer of skin there. Oh, and it's just so like juicy and amazing. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you try this recipe this Thanksgiving. Let me know in the comments below how this Thanksgiving is working out for you. I've really been enjoying talking to you guys in the comments. And thank you again so much to my Patreon supporters. I hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving meal. All right, happy Thanksgiving. See you guys next time.